I make the bitches hit the floor for keys. Yeah.
Travis got it here, and I'm back with some more boxing. We got the David Haye versus Tony Bellew fight coming up on March the 4th, man. I keep forgetting about this fight. I'm pretty sure, like, for us in America, it's easy to forget about that fight because we got another big fight on March the 4th. That's Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia. It's going to be on the same day. But since it's going to be in the UK, this fight right here, the UK is about 8 hours ahead of America, so we'll be able to watch the David Haye versus Tony Bellew fight earlier in the day. Like if we find some kind of stream, I don't know if y'all got Box Nation or whatever, but you know, I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna be streaming the fight, so we'll find a way to get to see that fight. All right, David Haye. David Haye is talking about he want a fence in between him and Tony Bellew. Now, let me rewind a little bit. They had the Wild press conference brawl, right? And this is a press conference where I think their heads was like touching each other and shit. David Haye had rested his face on Tony Bellew's face. And Tony Bellew not really wanting to be touched like that, you know what I'm saying, with somebody's face on his face, he pushed David Haye away. And David Haye was quick to throw a punch. Actually, it's kind of the first time that I've ever seen somebody respond like that at a press conference. I know you see people punching and shit, but if one guy goes to push somebody, I mean, David Haye, instead of pushing back, he immediately, I mean, he wasn't even really pushed yet. He just threw that punch. He was prepared, you know, like, it's kind of a sucker punch. You know, he was real quick with it. David Haye can swing pretty fast, man. You know, I didn't even see it. I didn't even see it when it first happened. I knew Tony Bellew was saying something about a punch or some shit, but like looking at it, you have to look really close and then even replay it a few times. But David Haye pretty much sucker punched the dude. You know, like, to be honest, man, how the fuck, okay, one dude push you and then you throwing a punch and shit, you obviously he's not going to be prepared to defend himself. He's not even thinking it's about to be a fight breaking out. Okay, now David Haye and Tony Bellew just recently, I think yesterday, recently said that he's going to fuck David Haye up if David Haye tried to do anything. Like if he even make a move. I wish I can go through all of these statements. I just might. It's pretty long, but it's good shit though. Tony Bellew was like, you know, if he twitches in any way, then I'm going to be first. Because, like I said, he wasn't expecting to get punched by David Haye at that press conference. He was just trying to get a comfortable distance between him and David Haye. David Haye was ready to throw a punch. And now Tony Bellew is ready to get some revenge on him. I mean, he's not saying that he's going to do it, but he probably would have went through with it. You see, because he's like, David Haye got one up on him. So he want to even the score. And David Haye probably understands this. Like, look, if Tony Bellew had punched David Haye after David Haye just tried to push him away, you already know David Haye was going to probably try to even the score. So this dude, he always flipped the script and shit. Always. Like, when he's about to be a victim, he always, like, I mean, it's smart. Yeah, we do need to get something to divide you guys so it don't be no brawl or it's something don't happen to prevent the fight from happening. Yeah, that's smart. That's logical. But he always seemed to, like, use his brain when it's, like, him about to be a victim and shit. You know, he had no problem being a bully when he was beating up Derek Chisora after Derek Chisora got beat up by Vitaly Klitschko for 12 rounds. And then he showed up drunk with a beer in his... He glassed me. You know what I'm saying? Hit motherfuckers with bottles and shit or, you know, whatever the fuck he did. It looked like he punched him while he was holding the bottle. But still, he didn't have no problem being a bully then. You already know, like, a motherfucker tired as fuck. Can't even really see straight. You just got your ass kicked for 12 rounds. And then when Shannon Briggs is trying to confront him for not wanting to make the fight, then he running out of the fucking venue, and then he releasing long ass fucking statements talking about, and bullies and shit. Feel like he's being bullied, and you know your best bet is just to ignore a bully. This dude is like 45 years old, and you calling him a bully and shit, but then somebody your age and shit that just got their ass whooped, you ready to beat their ass again. And then ended up making the fight and then beat his ass in the ring. But yeah, he always seemed to flip the script and shit when it's convenient for him. Now, David Haye, he released a statement, and he said, I'm going to make sure he is not in striking distance. A steel fence, whatever it is, glass or whatever, I don't need him there. When tensions are high and when guys are scared, they do crazy things. There needs to be some kind of protection between us, and a human being is not protection enough. The steel fence worked for that fight with Chisora. I'm not sure it looks great for the sport of boxing, but having a bunch of security between us looked messy. I love to have confidence that he will keep his hands to himself, but I don't have any confidence in him. I don't have any confidence in his mental state. He's scared. That's David Haye's statement. He's scared that Tony Bellew is going to swing on him. Like, dude, you swung on him? So, you know, the only thing that will equal that is if you pushed him and then he punched you in your shit. You can't be just sucker punching motherfuckers. That's some fucked up shit. You know, he could have knocked Tony Bellew out right then and there. You know, like Zab Judah fucked up his return by doing some shit like that. You really, I mean, just say if David Haye, he's just trying to look good and shit right there. Like, you know, he get pushed and then he punched somebody. He got the upper hand. He looks better in the situation, even though Tony Bellew couldn't have did shit to stop it. But still, let's just say he would have knocked out Tony Bellew right there. Maybe got a concussion. Maybe even got a cut. But even just get knocked out. Now, mentally, he's going to be fucked up. He got to go into this training camp and train 3 months to fight you and shit. And then, you know, knowing that he's been knocked out by you before, even if it outside of the ring, inside the ring, it don't fucking matter. This man still knocked you out. It's like it's going to put like a level of fear in his heart. No matter how tough you try to pretend to be, you still got knocked the fuck out by this guy that you about to fight who most people saying is going to knock you out any fucking ways. David Haye is talking about putting you in the hospital and you like acting like it bothers you. It's just like it could have prevented the fight from happening in the first fucking place. If David Haye would have landed clean enough to knock Tony Bellew out, he could have probably pulled out of the fight. Big payday or not. And the shit that Tony Bellew was saying, man, it was so fucking funny. You know, I didn't even really pay attention to it until David Haye came back with this little soft-ass bullshit talking about a steel fence or glass. Now, steel fence, you can still spit at somebody. I hope they don't get to spitting and shit like a bunch of kids. You never know what these motherfuckers will do. But, you know, it's possible. I don't think Tony Bellew would do that. David Haye, he could possibly. I don't know, man. I don't know about these motherfuckers, man. Motherfuckers do any fucking thing. Like, I wouldn't even expect David Haye to throw that sucker punch. You see Derek Chisora spitting in Vladimir Klitschko's face a bunch of water. He wasn't even fighting Vladimir Klitschko. You see what I'm saying? Then fucking Floyd Mayweather choking Victor Ortiz. And then you see Adrian the Problem Broner choking Emmanuel Taylor. It's just like, it ain't no telling what these motherfuckers were doing. Then Broner like to hump. He used to like to hump people in the ring. Yo, I don't put nothing past none of these motherfuckers. But yeah, Tony Bellew did seem like he was kind of, maybe he is a little scared. I mean, David Haye, everything that he said was true. You know, if he's scared, the scared person to do anything, I don't trust his mental state. He's exactly correct. But was you scared? Was you scared when he pushed you and you punched him? When you knew his hands wasn't in position to punch you? Was you scared? Nah, you just wanted to punch somebody. Well, yeah, let me read a little bit of what Tony Bellew said. He said, listen, if he gets close to me and twitches in any way, I'll be the first one to smack his fucking face. If he gets close to me, I don't care about nothing. My first rule of boxing is to get home safe. If you want to put that in jeopardy away from the ring, that's what will happen. If he steps toward me and twitches in any way, and then he just went on and on. Okay, let's go ahead and finish the statement. I pushed him the first time because I've never hit anyone at a press conference. I've never struck anyone yet, but I will not be second this time. He's 1-0 up at the minute. That's how I look at it. He got the cheap shot in. If he steps toward me again, trust me, I will be first. He hit me on the side of the head with his knuckles, and his twat is still going on that he just slapped me. The thing with David is he can't deal with the fact I'm unpredictable. He lives in a bubble. He lives in a dream world. Tony Bellew's statement, you see what I'm saying? He's really like kind of on the edge. He is probably uncomfortable because what the fuck? You got sucker punched and shit at the last time when you was just trying to, you know, like you push somebody because you're just trying to get a comfortable distance between you two. You see what I'm saying? If y'all wouldn't have been that close, then he wouldn't have never pushed him away, and then David Haye would have never punched him. But you don't know if David Haye would try to punch him again. He already sucker punched you once. So it's kind of like, you know, it's understandable for him to be uncomfortable. And it's understandable for him to not want to be a victim again. So I completely understand him. But you see like how he's talking and shit, it's like he's really on the edge. He's talking about if he twitches, you know what I'm saying? If he just make any kind of move, you know what I'm saying? Even if he ain't trying to swing, he's preparing to steal on David Haye, pretty much. You can't make a move. You gotta move. You can't just stand there like a statue. So he's gonna probably swing on David Haye. So I understand David Haye's weak ass statement. It makes sense. But coming from a guy that like to bully motherfuckers and sucker punch motherfuckers, even the fucking Chisora shit, wasn't that a sucker punch too? I mean, Chisora wasn't really prepared to fight. He went over there to David Haye. He stepped in his face, and David Haye started swinging. You know, like they could have helped sell the fight with them just facing off like that. But David Haye started swinging with the beer bottle in his hand. Just like with this shit right here. Tony Bellew. Now, look, the guy knows that it's the possibility of David Haye swinging and shit. So now David Haye don't want no part of it. It was probably his idea with the steel gate, with the Chisora shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like now Chisora know that you might try to sucker punch him, so now he gonna be ready to sucker punch your ass, or he'll be prepared. He'll be ready. Gonna be expecting it. And now Tony Bellew will say like, okay, you want to play that game? So now he's gonna be expecting David Haye to try to do some shit, and he gonna be ready. Now David Haye don't want no part of it when it's fair, but when he can get a sucker punch in, he's all for it. I'm Travis Gotti. Thank you for tuning in to Travis Gotti Boxing. Subscribe.
I gotta quit fucking with you. I gotta quit fucking with you.